Hello everyone, it's Jade from Boho Bookworm and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some books that I didn't know existed and they sound pretty freaking epic. The first one being Prisoner by B.A. Paris. Now B.A. Paris is an author I have read a lot of. I used to think that she was one of my favourite authors. However, I've realised I think 3 or 4 of her books I've only given 3 stars. I know they're The Breakdown, Bring Me Back, The Dilemma, The Therapist I hated. I gave that one a 1 star. The only one that I really thoroughly enjoyed was Behind Closed Doors, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. That being said, I will read anything that this author writes because Behind Closed Doors was that phenomenal that I will read everything because I do think that she's got the potential to bring out something incredible again. Plus, I mean, Prisoner sounds really, really good. This is a book about this girl called Amelie, and she's always been this survivor. She lost her parents at a really young age in Paris. She's kind of grown up alone in London. She built a life for herself, and then she marries this like billionaire called Jed, and like life is just kind of incredible. But one day, Amelie wakes up in this pitch black room. She has no recollection of how she got there. She doesn't know who her captors are. Like, it's bizarre. However, that's not the question that is the most concerning. The thing that's most concerning is that she feels safer here than she does with her husband. She feels safer where she is imprisoned and held against her will. What? That sounds so good. I want it now. I believe that this book is getting published on the 1st of November, so still a little while to go, but this year is flying by, so hopefully that will come around soon. Then there's a book that I actually saw on the bookshelves in Sainsbury's the other day when I got back from Portugal, and I was like, I had no idea that this book existed. A new Clare Mackintosh book called The Last Party. So this is about a party, and at midnight one of the guests is dead, and by morning everyone that attended the party is a suspect. Sounds pretty cool, right? So the dude hosting this party is a guy called Reese, and it's New Year's Eve, so he is going to throw the party of all parties. From the premise, it seems like a lot of these guests are quite wealthy and they're all going to get invited to Reese's like a lake house, I think it's a lake house, and just drink champagne all night. Oh wow, nice. I mean, it's pretty nice of Reese, isn't it, to just invite all of his neighbours over for this nice swanky do, but clearly someone has it out for him because by midnight Reese is dead, floating in the lake. So New Year's Day rolls around and this woman called, I think you pronounce it Finn, it's F-I-O-N, and she's got like this list of suspects, but it's like a really small community, so all of the suspects are her friends and family. I'm just wondering why she's not a suspect too, or is she? She's got her own secrets to hide. That sounds pretty intriguing to me, and I will definitely be picking it up very soon. Like B.A. Paris, some of Clare Mackintosh's books I've only given 3 stars, so she's a bit of a hit and miss. Only one has received a solid 5 out of 5 stars from me, and that was The Donor. A 4-star read from this author was I Let You Go. The 3-star reads were I See You and Let Me Lie. I don't really know. Is this book going to be like a 4 or 5, or is it going to be more of like a mediocre 3, or maybe even less? Who knows? She isn't. No, I have actually read another book by her, haven't I? I've read Hostage. Hostage I actually gave 4 out of 5 stars, but I remember when I did read it, the ending, the conclusion was a bit irritating and bizarre for me. Actually, I don't know where my head is, but I've actually read After the End as well, which I gave a 5 out of 5 stars quite a couple of years ago now. And so, that being said, she has written 2 5-star reads for me before, so which direction is The Last Party going to go? Oh, coffee. The next book is Sweet Virginia by Caroline Kepnes, who wrote the series You, starring Joe Goldberg, who is amazing. I just love that series so much. I haven't read her other book, Providence, yet, but I think I had a copy in South Africa, but unfortunately all my books have now been sold, and I'm kind of starting to slowly rebuild my book collection. It's a lot less than it used to be. I think before my book collection was close to 10,000 books, I'm not even joking, and they were sold for such a tiny fraction. Just heartbreaking, but I couldn't afford to ship all my books to England after already shipping them all the way from Australia back to South Africa. I'm never moving again, that's for sure. So You, book 1, I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Hidden Bodies, which a lot of people didn't actually tend to like, I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. And the 3rd book in the series, I've given a 4 as well. So I know there are more books coming in the series, but they're not yet released. But I do really like Caroline Kepnes's writing. I enjoy her stories, I enjoy her characters, I find her stories riveting. So this is apparently a darkly comic short story, so a little bit of a bite-sized book, which I don't really read many short stories, and to be honest, as a writer myself, it's something that I really struggle to get to terms with as well. My writing is very descriptive, so it is something I do want to invest more time into, reading more short stories, learning how they're structured and how you can put so much into a book that without that description, which I do love. So Sweet Virginia is about this woman called Shelby, and she's just struggling in general. She's struggling with motherhood, she's struggling with her relationship with her mother, her marriage, literally everything that a woman could have that like feminine pressure put on her. She's like in her own head about it. To make matters worse, the poor woman is also unemployed. Oops. The way that she escapes all of these like societal pressures and just the stress of life in general is watching Hallmark movies. She loves just like all these romantic, beautiful, like fairy tale romances that she watches in these films. So one day this random secret admirer kind of offers that kind of lifestyle to her, and the temptation is insane. But is there a conspiracy behind this offer? What is he getting out of it? Why does he want this? And could it possibly be real? We all know that fairy tales aren't real, so what's the catch? Apparently this book was published in 2020. I have not heard of it. I don't think I've heard anyone else on Booktube speak about it, so I am definitely going to try and find a copy. Then we have My Darling Daughter by J.P. Delaney, another author that has written 2 5-star books for me before. I'm so excited for another book by this author. The Girl Before and Playing Nice, 2 incredible books. The Perfect Wife, one of the other books, really wasn't my kind of thing. I think I gave it a 2 out of 5-star review, but this one, My Darling Daughter, sounds really good. So this is a book about this woman called Susie, and 15 years ago she gave up her daughter for adoption, and then randomly 15 years later on social media this girl called Anna reaches out to her and is claiming to be her daughter. Anna kind of explains her life with her family that she's been brought up with, and it sounds really odd. So when the adoptive parents completely freak out about the fact that Anna contacted Susie at all, Susie is convinced that Anna needs her help. So we're trying to figure out in this book, is Anna just kind of acting out from a traumatic childhood, or is there something more sinister at play? This one is going to be published around mid-September this year, so one that I am definitely going to be getting my hands on as soon as possible too. Some really good books there, some I can't believe I haven't heard anything about them. Granted, I haven't been watching as many Booktube videos lately, or, you know, been that active on Goodreads because life's just been a bit too busy, but I am slowly getting back into it now that we're all settled in the house and everything's kind of returning to a state of normality. Let me know from those books if there's any that you would absolutely adore to pick up. If you've somehow received arcs of any of them, let me know what you thought of them. I'm excited to hear from you. I'm gonna go finish my coffee now and edit this video and then give it to you. Bye!